Hello. Hi. My name is Maxine Samone. I'm here to share a touch of Venus with you. Ooh, let me see if this little light adds any effect. It kind of does. More of a shadow, but that might be a message in itself. I'm going to do a collective reading. I feel like I cleaned my space, and that feels good. It feels really good, actually. I moved my flowers, beautiful. I did my nails, beautiful. Just washed my face, feeling beautiful. And I just want a new energy. These are cards that I've had for a while. I break these out, the ancestor cards. Every once in a while I feel called to, but I haven't used this deck on any live, I don't think, on any readings, with any readings. So I'm interested to see what these have to say, because every time I pull from this deck, the card isn't exactly what I think it is. So I'm just interested to see what comes out. And then I have an oracle deck. So we're going to get into some oracle cards. I don't really feel called to use tarot too much tonight. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If you're new here on TikTok, welcome. If you are watching this on YouTube, because I do post these to YouTube for those that can't stay all the way through the TikTok reading. Yes, if you're new here on YouTube, welcome to the collective. Okay, if you want to like, share, subscribe, all the beautiful things, I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's start with... So the ancestor deck technically is a tarot deck. They're not oracle, but they're so like heavy hitting messages. Like, I don't know. You'll see what I'm saying. I kind of want to start with these. I had a channeled song coming in. It's an Earth, Wind, and Fire song. I don't remember the name of it, but it kept saying something about the weight of the world. That's the weight of the world. But it's like they're saying it slower. I do not want to sing it because I can't sing. But I'm trying to think. That's the weight of the world. Something about your heart is gold. Something like that. We'll see what comes out. Maybe if you know what song I'm talking about, you can drop in the chat. I would really appreciate it. But we shall see what comes out. Welcome all the new people. Like I said, this we reposted to YouTube. You know what? We didn't even fucking pray. What are we doing? What are we doing, really? Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, higher beings of light and unconditional love, divine mother, divine father. How are you? Please protect this message. And give me the words that the collective needs to hear, not what they want to hear, you know? Thank you for the follow. And, oh, if you're interested in personal readings, everything can only be booked on atouchofvenus.com. Anybody else is impersonating me, I'm not going to reach out to you, okay? So we have a little bit of confusion. You might be picking up on people in your energy. Interesting. I feel that. I just felt, I don't know, like a wave of heat hit me. Again, these cards, like I said, I can pick up something from it, but I'm actually going to look in the guidebook because the meaning of the cards by the guidebook is always a little bit different. This deck is always really interesting, but then we do have abundance on the bottom of the deck. Thank you, Train. Let me see. Confusion. So this is a part of the chapter that's called neutral. Every silver lining has a cloud. Through the willingness to be confused, we find clarity. Ooh, so it's like making order out of the chaos. Beautiful. There's nothing to solve. That is mad extra. Okay. Allowing confusion, spiritual support, consequences of actions, and finding love. Keywords: clarity, support, revelation. Meditation and quiet time can bring clarity. Okay, so this one isn't like too out there. There is like a little story. Apparently this character is called Jana. Jana climbs Faith Mountain in a dense fog, wondering whether her decision to leave her boyfriend was the right one. There's another man waiting in the wings. There always is. That's what it says. Silver cloud surrounds her, and she is cold and scared. And it is cold and scary. Despite her confusion, she keeps climbing. As she reaches the summit, the fog clears, revealing the town far below. With Silver Cloud's help, she has journeyed much farther than she realized. She now knows what to do. She begins the long journey home to reclaim her love. Interesting. So when I see abundance here on the bottom of the deck, and I do see there is both a man and a woman here. The man looks very confused about, it looks like he dropped something of value. And it looks like the woman is finding something of value. It also shows that there's a home for sale here. That really just stood out to me. So this kind of feels like, okay, because also we have a woman here and this is a masculine spirit around. You might be picking up on someone or people in your energy. It also kind of feels like this person, ooh, we have self-worth on the bottom of the deck, and bittersweet. Through losing, quote unquote, losing people in your life, or maybe even a partnership, you've seemed to find your value, your self-worth, which is unlocking your divine inheritance, your abundance. Through all of this loss, through all of this heartbreak, because with heartbreak, you have heart awakenings, you know, heart expansions. It's like you've started to really remember who you were because you separated yourself, or maybe you were forcefully separated from people. Maybe they left your life, you know? But it does feel like you pick up on people in your energy every once in a while. Maybe you get hits of them. I'm not answering any personal questions on the TikTok live, but if you'd like a personal reading, everything can be found in the description, or not the description box, the link in my bio. I'm doing a collective message that will be reposted to YouTube. So we have clarity coming out, and then we have Five of Coins. So there's something about clarity around a loss or feeling left out. I feel like you had to be put into isolation to really start to remember who you were, I don't know, it feels like being in, the example of the card is so similar to my situation. It feels like you even had to maybe move away, you know, or maybe you were like placed into another space because you literally had to, Spirit needed you away from these people, away from people in general. You really had to be put into a hermit mode so that you could think fucking clearly. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to get out of this space, and they did it very quickly, really quickly. It might have like low-key scared you because you might have felt like everything was kind of falling apart. But beneath all of that, it was like you had to shed a layer of who you were. I think beneath that self-worth card, there was guilt and then there was shame. And so there was aspects of yourself that you were not willing to look at, or that maybe certain behaviors were being enabled by being in certain environments. And I think that by being in isolation, you had to like really step up and own all of your actions, even the things that you weren't so proud of. We have Mother of Baskets in the reverse, so like basically Queen of Cups. Overgiving, you know what I'm saying? No boundaries. Highly empathic also, and like super sensitive. So your environment was really important, and I don't think that you ever really put as much weight on it as you should have. I just saw something that was saying that, you know, people, the spiritual community, we kind of, especially in the beginning of our journey, we focus on the wrong things. Is the thing organic? Am I eating this? Am I doing my da da da? But like, are you paying attention to the energies around you? You know what I'm saying? Are you keeping up with your energetic hygiene and your habits? And a lot of the times, myself included, you know, damn, I hate when I do that. I forget to put the content disclosure on here. Myself included, though, you're doing, it's like topical treatments, just rubbing something on and not actually doing the internal work. You know, we have the free man in reverse. And so there was like a lot of hesitation to leave people, places, things, which I think that's why Spirit just came in and did it for you, because you weren't going to do it. We have Son of Baskets in reverse. It was affecting your mental health. It was affecting your mental and emotional health. It was starting to get kind of dark there. You know what I'm saying? It was really starting to get kind of dark. And again, you might not have been given the tools and the resources. He said, how do I get a personal reading? You can only book a personal reading with me through atouchofvenus.com. atouchofvenus.com, all one word. It's linked in my bio, and I also have workshops on there. Well, I have one right now. I'm building out more workshops right now, but I have a workshop on there that is pay what you can, pay what you want. That one is called the Venus Codes, how to align with the frequency of love and abundance. It's a video, and I wrote a 35, I think it's 25 or 35, I don't remember. I wrote it a few months ago, page guidebook that gets into like the nitty-gritty details of that. Using your Venus placement, not just your Venus placement, but really understanding value system and how that affects your abundance. And a lot of the times, and I feel like this applies to this collective, this is why I'm kind of bringing it up, our relationships, we try to compartmentalize areas of our life, and our relationships, our interpersonal relationships, our intimate relationships are direct reflection of our issues with money and our creativity and all of those things. And I break that down, how your relationship life could be affecting how you're making your money and vice versa, you know. But it seems like this environment was affecting your mental health. We have Two of Baskets. Not to take away, this is like Two of Cups. Not to take away from the fact that these people were destined to be on your path, and you were destined to meet them. These are soulmates, but it does, in this context, feel karmic. Like there was some, I want to clarify. Okay, so yeah, this is literally the Justice card in reverse. They were karmic soulmates. You were here to teach them something, and they were here to teach you something. And there's nothing that you should feel like guilty or shameful about. You shouldn't have regrets either. I feel like that's easier said than done, especially when you're sitting alone and you're thinking about all this shit and you're cringing and all of those things. You know what I'm saying? I totally understand. But I feel that it's coming up because you're in the place of being in a new beginning with the Ace of Sticks or Ace of Wands. You're in a new chapter, a new space in your life. We have the Seven of Baskets. I think that this is just to clarify because, again, you might be picking up, it feels like there's confusion around how you unlock your new abundance. It feels like it's connected to your self-worth and releasing shame and guilt. Maybe for previous chapters in your life and how you went about them, the relationships that you had, what you did in them. It's about extracting the lessons, you know, and releasing the shame, because the shame will have your creative centers blocked. Literally, your shame gets like, it affects a lot of areas in our life, you know, but it specifically was coming to me as like your sacral. And your creative energy is that, you know, potent sexual energy is the creative, like masculine and feminine coming together energy, you know what I'm saying? And when you have shame around some of the things that you willingly co-created, you know, because now you're stepping into your divine inheritance, understanding like your co-creative abilities, you have, it feels like you're moving through some shame around what you have willingly created in your past, you know? And I feel like Spirit is saying that it's time to really like let that shit go, because you're literally in a new beginning. And in order to kind of like grab this baton and really get started doing what you feel called to do, and you know, moving forward with your life, you have to kind of move out of that shadow space. We have Strength in the reverse, so we have a few coming out. Strength in the reverse, 10 of Knives in the reverse, 8 of Knives in the reverse, Son of Sticks, and then 5 of Knives. This is what's causing the confusion. Maybe there could be essentially shadows of the past popping up even in your mind, memories, things like that make you feel a little bit less confident about yourself. But Spirit is saying that this is of the past. 10 of Knives in the reverse. The betrayals, the things, the stories that we tell ourselves, and how we even participated in them, and the people that participated in them. We really gotta like let it go. You know what I'm saying? And maybe there's also an invitation in here. We were saying making order out of the chaos. Maybe it's not so much about pushing it away or letting it go, alchemizing it. I think that's what it is, actually. Because we have confusion, we have abundance. The colors here are standing out to me. We have this like silver, which kind of reminds me of lead, and then we have this gold. So I just learned recently, little fun fact, that an alchemist month is 40 days in like esoteric teachings, you know, like occultism and things. And so the first process of alchemy, I forget the actual word it's called, but it's something to do with calcium something, you know, I want to say calcifying, but I don't think that's the right word. It is when you take something, you burn it to its finest, purest powder, like a fine powder. And then when you start to create something with that pure form of it, you put it in like, you know, like when you picture like an alchemist and they're like doing their little science shit or whatever, you have it in this like bowl, and it's like you put it in a water or a liquid, and then you have to put a lid on the thing, and then it starts to create this circumvention of like condensation. So like that pure form starts to boil, and then it condensates and it rises, it turns into air, and then it turns into that liquid again, and it drops in and it purifies. It keeps going in like this thing. And to create a tincture, it takes like the alchemist month is like 40 days, which I find really interesting, because we have so many of these like religious stories that talk about the 40 days for, you know, kind of like being put off into your own zone, you know what I'm saying, off on your own. And this card also did mention about going on a mountain, at the top of a mountain, which is kind of getting like Shiva type of vibes, you know. And so you might be put in this place of isolation to kind of extract the purest form of those experiences, extract the essence of those experiences, right? And be able to move forward with that essence, with minus the shame, minus the extras, you know. And this is how you're going to free yourself. You have the 8 of Swords in reverse. That's freeing yourself from anxiety. We have the Son of Sticks, you know, in reverse. And then we have the 5 of Knives. And it's like kind of allowing yourself to, once you do this process, or once you go through this distillation process, it feels like, or this alchemy, it feels like Spirit really wants you to allow yourself to have fun again, because what attracted you to these people was a magnetic attraction, you know, and you followed that. And I think that there was a part of you that almost started to mistrust your intuition, because you came across karmic partners. But again, the karmic partners were placed in your life for a reason. That wasn't a bad thing, you know. So then we have, yeah, Miss Robinson. We have Miss Robinson represents the Devil card in tarot in this particular deck. And so that's where your power lies in this process. You have to be able to face some of those shadow aspects of yourself that were being displayed in these past situations. You can't let shame, you know, ruin your life. You have to, 7 of 6, you have to stand up for something. You have to stand up to your past. You have to understand. There's a book on my shelf called Awaken the Giant Within. Tony Robbins vibes. But this card, now, when I read a little bit more about it, the 7 of Wands, it reminded me of, I learned that this person is standing on a mountain, you know. And so that means that you're in a position of power. You're in a position to be able to change things. Yeah, we have the Hierophant popping out. The Hierophant is the God card. So, and then we have your ancestors as well. We have the Ancestor card popping out. So you have support in doing this. You're not by yourself. You have a whole team behind you, backing you. This is something that I feel like this path, it feels like this is a part of your, we've been talking about initiations for quite a while, but this is this is a part of towards the end, like this resurrection energy. And so this is something that has been ordained, given like to you since a child, you know, to go through this journey. And I think that if you can take that approach and that like perspective, then I don't think that you'll be bogged down by the shame and the guilt and all of those things, you know. Let's get some advice cards. Advice cards. Okay. We have Fire popping out. I think that there's really, Spirit wants you to trust your nudges. They want you to take action on your nudges. I think that, again, kind of releasing shame around the fact that you might have been magnetically pulled to something, someone, an environment, and that you reflect on that and you're like, I should have done something differently. And that's where I think there's a bit of confusion. Back then, you didn't understand who you were. You know what I'm saying? You just didn't understand who you were. You didn't understand the value that you held, and so your actions didn't reflect that. But through these experiences, you began to learn who you were, and now your actions are different. And you should also be able to take like redirect your magnetism. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this collective is damn near scared to come out the house and try something new. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to get yourself in a situation type of thing. Yeah, they need you to trust your intuition. Literally says trust your intuition. Like super clear. Trust your intuition. We have heal. So yes, you're healing your relationship with your intuition right now. And we have the Wheel of Fortune, and that is what is going to turn your cycle of quote unquote bad luck, you know what I'm saying, upright, where it's like, no, understanding that these were karmic lessons. I was meant to go through them. They're a part of my path. I was meant to meet those people. I was meant to be in that environment. You know what I'm saying? Actually, my intuition was right on point, and I've always been protected throughout this whole thing with the God card and our ancestors right there. You know, so it's a shift in perspective. We have acceptance coming out. Anything else? We have air, and then we have spiritual partnership in the reverse. this is a part of the journey that you can do alone. You don't have to necessarily talk to these people or connect with these people again, any kind of communication again, unless you feel called to. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, yeah, we have the truth in reverse and then the rebirth in the reverse. I don't think it's necessary for you to have conversation or to like re-enter that environment to do this aspect, this part of the healing journey. We have new direction, and fear is what's making you question it. So if you feel called to be pulled back into a particular relationship or with another person, or maybe you just need to have that closure conversation, I feel like Spirit is confirming that you don't need that. You need to actually release the shame and the guilt that you have for yourself. It has nothing to do with them, really. I think that might be the message. So then we have repentance in the reverse. We have the middle way, the line between opposite extremes. And then we have stay focused. Remember why you started. You don't need to put yourself through another cycle of suffering. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to put yourself back in that environment. I feel like we have a fucked up kind of relationship with repentance, and like we have this like what I think of as like saying these Hail Marys over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Like having to do something repetitively to get the lesson or something, or to be cleansed of it. And that's not the point. Spirit wants you to be able to take information, reflect, be in hermit mode, do the integration work, and make new decisions. And that's literally the repentance. That's all you have to do. You just have to make a new decision with the information that's being presented to you, you know? And there is no good or bad in this situation. Again, karma is about balance. And so I'm sure that those people got what they needed. You got what you needed. There's no extremes. There's no right or wrong. You can also release any like built up disappointment or anger or sadness, you know, like that will also help this process. Stay focused. Remember why you started. You're on a path to expanding. And then we have Aries in the reverse. Why Aries in the reverse? We have the Magician. Yeah, this is you becoming the alchemist. You understanding that you are on this journey alone. You came in it alone, and you will come out of it alone. You know what I'm saying? So, and you're at the same in the same sentence though, you're not alone in the way that you have your guides and your ancestors backing you. So, yeah, I feel like this is a beautiful message. You're on the right path. Everything's good. You don't have to get all, you know, worked up. We have Scorpio here, meaning that you're going through a deep transformation. And then the final card, we have Gemini. So Scorpio and Gemini energy. You're moving away from the extremes and the vengeance and the revenge and the, you know what I'm saying, what keeps you stuck. Because Scorpio is a fixed water energy. The emotions that keep you stuck, you're moving that, and you're moving into a more airy, detached energy, you know, because Gemini, they can see all perspectives. They're gatherers of information, and they're very quick to detach and move forward. You know what I'm saying? Some would argue that both of these signs are messy, but one gets stuck in the mess longer than the other. Take that, you know, for what you will. We have the Fool again in the reverse. So I feel like Spirit is saying you're kind of like, we have the Fool twice in the reverse. This is what's in between you and your new beginning. Okay. So if this is resonating, if you'd like to continue on and get a personal reading, everything can be found in the link in my bio. Again, only can be booked through atouchofvenus.com. And yeah, everything will be posted. This will be posted on YouTube. If you'd like to check out any of my other collective timeless messages, I have like 80 videos up there now, between like shorts and, you know, collective messages. But I have been posting pretty consistently for the past like 2-3 months. So there's a lot of content on there if you just want to binge. I don't really recommend binging, because really take the messages and then integrate what you need to integrate, you know what I'm saying? But thank you guys for tuning in. It was nice seeing everyone, connecting with y'all, and I will probably get on here tomorrow. Have a good night.